I hope everybody has their water today. Hope you're hydrated. It's been hot. It's been hot. It's definitely been hot. Starting to cool down just a few degrees. But hey, we're still surviving and thriving, people. That's the only way we know how, man. Listen, y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all know why y'all came here. I don't even need to say anymore. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, boys and girls of all races, welcome back. Welcome back to My Honest Take. This is the only podcast that matters and the only pod you'll ever need with your host, Quincy. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your day. It is Monday, people. Nobody's favorite day of the week, but we're going to make it somebody's favorite day of the week. I want to thank you guys constantly for showing the love and support that you guys have been showing on the podcast. We've been making waves and making strides in the podcasting field, reaching different type of heights. I just checked recently. We're, I believe, like in the top 100 for certain categories now, from the category honest, from sports drama to world news. I believe like we're making waves now, people. So I do appreciate you guys constantly for that love that you guys have been showing, just bringing that momentum constantly into different months. It's been great to see you guys constantly interacting with me. So please, like I've always said, give you guys a pat on the back, man. You guys been sharing, you guys been liking, you guys been rating, you guys been subbing when it comes to YouTube to listen to it on there, or whatever platform you do listen to it on. So I do appreciate all the love and support you guys have been doing for me. So, like I said, I gotta give you guys that shout out. And if you are coming from the YouTube to actually just listen to whatever platform you are, go back to YouTube. I got more videos posted up there. Um, had to take that break from the tube to just really grind back out on the podcast and that, but we back on there. All right. So definitely go show love, man. I appreciate it always, man. I do. So, hey, look, with all the formalities out the way, okay? It's time to get into what we really got to get into. All right. So, what's on the news first? Okay. What's on the agenda? Pretty much, I should say. Well, there's a lot. Okay. There's a lot. We need to talk about streamer warfare. That's what I'm calling streamer warfare. Because the streamers have lost control. The streamers have lost control. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, we've been seeing dissing left and right. All right. And it all started with DDG. As we all know, we've talked about him plenty of times. Streamer, rapper, YouTuber. We talked about him a lot. Dated. Yeah, I will say dated. All right. With the D at the end, pause. Haley Bailey. Okay. And he is dissing somebody by the name of Little Rodney's son, who is someone who people would classify as just not caring, balls to the wall, off the rails, just says what he wants, right? Typically not caring. Okay. Um, and they're dissing each other left and right. Okay. Now we're not going to talk into everything because there's a lot. You just have to go look. We're just gonna cover a few things that stood out. Okay. So they're dissing each other left and right. Right. I forgot how the whole beefing even started. But DDG saying like y'all don't want to settle this with violence or whatever. Let's play Uno or some shit. Bet money and then keep it that way. You don't want to do nothing violent no more, right? Which maybe that can tie in with the whole seeing his kid and all that, or maybe he's just like y'all don't want to do that no more, or maybe he's trolling. We don't know, all right? But Mr. Lil Rodney's son, right? He comes through and is like, nah, man, we're not doing that, whatever. We could box, but I'm not boxing. I'll get someone to box you. So right out the gate, though, it's like, hold on now. Hold on now, big bro. you talking all this smack, and now you don't want to box my guy. Like, come on. What's up with that? You gonna have someone else box for you? You the one who's got the beef, got the problem. You go box him. We sending out hits. Like, what's going on? We send out people to go complete your dirty business. No, what you think, you a mafia boss? You the mafia leader? Stop it. That's how I feel. That's how I feel looking at it. I'm like, nah, if you want us to scrap it out, go ahead, box it up, shake hands, leave, or box it up. Don't need to talk no more. Leave it at that. You lose, you lose. Take your L, keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? Make your money, do whatever you gotta do. Right? But he says he's gonna get someone else to box him. Then we have Mr. Aaron the Plumber, as we all know, who was on that reality show, who was boxing and fighting everybody, running the fade with anybody, saying, yo, I'll fight DDG for you. Right? And it's like, come on, Aaron, chill. You had your shine on the on the reality show, dog. Listen, you funny to me. I love seeing you run the fade with everybody. I love it. It's funny. But come on, man. Let the streamers deal with this shit. You know what I mean? But then you got other people posting on Instagram, yo, fuck DDG, I'm with Lil Ronnie. There's a lot of dick riding going on around here. And excuse the language on this podcast episode, but this needs to be said. All right? It feels like everybody be worshiping these people. Boy, he is another person. He breathes, eats, shits just like you, bro. Relax. Right? So the beef continues, right? Continues. People saying this, he's saying that, whatever, right? So let's fast forward a little bit more into this, right? So whenever what happens next is even more funny to me. Okay, so apparently, little Rodney's son talks about DDG like, yo, you about unk status, you worried about me. I don't know how old he is. I think he's either 18 to 21 range, whatever. DDG, I think, said the 25, 24, 26, 27 range. I don't know. I don't keep track of these people, man. All right, we got our own lives. But apparently, little Ronnie's son's like, yo, you beefing with me and all that. Go worry about being a dad. Go see your kid. Go worry about trying to make sure your kid's okay, right? Now, there's two ways to take that, okay? For my people who got a kid, if someone says that to you, some of y'all could look at it as an insult. What you trying to say? I don't take care of my kid. What you trying to say? I don't watch my kid. Like, what you trying to say? And especially in DDG's case, with the whole, co-parenting thing that they're doing, or supervised visits that DDG has to do, that kind of hit a nerve for him. You could tell because of what he does next. But we're gonna get to that. It's one of those things. It's like, whoa, you know what I'm going through, legal battles and all that, and you telling me to go worry about my kid. All right, cool. So some people could see it like that. Some other people could look at it like, nah, he has a point, bro. You worried about beefing with a kid, bro? You don't worry about your kid, man. Make sure your kid is good. Don't worry about someone else's kid. Make sure your kid is good. Make sure your family's in order. Go worry about that. So you could look at two different ways, right? Now it's all about tone of voice. And that tone of voice he was using was more like, nigga, stop worrying about me. You got other shit to handle. Like, that's how I felt, right? So let's fast forward. DDG, his win of this, of course, goes on his stream, and pretty much saying that everybody beef with me. I don't be starting this. It's just crazy. Da 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 da. Of course, I just have to add that in there. I don't know the validity of that, but that's what he says. But this is how he escalates it. He ends up showing his lock screen, right? Shows his iPhone to the camera, shows what his lock screen is, and it's a picture of little Rodney's son's deceased father. Okay. Now, right when me saying that, I know a lot of y'all's like, yo, nah, that's too far. Yo, what? Why he do that? That's crazy. You're not supposed to do that. Yo, he's disrespecting the dead. Don't do that. Whatever. Now, he didn't say anything disrespectful. He just said, hey, y'all know who this is? Oh, okay. And just kept using his phone like normal. But it was a jab. You could tell it was still disrespectful. Still a jab. He didn't say nothing disrespectful. But it's still a jab, right? So, some people are like, yo, nah, this is distasteful. That's low. That's crazy. You can't do that. Right? Lil Ronnie's son gets info with this and it's like, yo, that's not what I do. I don't disrespect the dead, da da da. That's not how that operates, whatever, right? So people are like, yeah, good job, don't do that. And then a clip surfaces from him. See, that's the problem. When you're in the media, when you're in the public eye, oh boy, you better hope everything's fully deleted. Because what they say, when it's deleted off the internet, it's still there. You better hope that hard drive is broken. Whenever you delete it, you better go to the archives and double delete it. A clip surfaces of him saying pretty much like, yo, if you talk about me and I know your cousin just died, it's fair game. Yo, did your cousin just get shot in the head? Why didn't he duck? Oh, I'm ugly. Oh, your man's is dead. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said, right? So he's letting people know, like, yo, if you go low, I'm going to hell. I ain't gonna lie, that was funny. I chuckled. That's funny. All right, because I know a lot of us have definitely disrespected the dead before, disrespected somebody's mom's son, whoever. We've said some crazy, disrespectful things where we may look back on it like, damn, I don't know what I was thinking. Or we may look back on it like, damn, I'm still like that. Some of us don't change. Some of us don't change. But it pops up and surfaces, so people now like, hold on now, you saying this, but you just said you would do this, so now we don't got time to hear that. What are you talking about? So it's interesting that that happens, right? So he doesn't say that. He starts going back on DDG's kid, like, yo, go do that, you know. And you start seeing people side with Lil Ronnie son a little bit, right? A lot of people side on him. And DDG's like, yo, you know, I wish people had common sense to stop telling me, you know, or talking about my kid like I got this. And like I said, that's where the father figure comes in. A lot of fathers would say that, like, yo, don't talk about my kid. You can talk about me all day long, but leave my kid out of it. So now it's like Casanat, as we all know, one of the biggest streamers in the world. You know, he's over here saying I'm staying neutral now. I don't know what to do because he messes with both. It's just, hey man, DG's in another beef. It feels like he's always in beefs at this point. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I'm shocked that he's still dealing with beefs. Me at this point, I'm like, hey, you win. I don't care. I don't got time. You know what I mean? But now he's dealing with that. And the thing is, with these streamers, y'all, I be trying to tell y'all, man, these people's lives, sometimes you don't know if nothing's staged or what's real anymore. Everything's for views now. So I don't know. I don't know. And the reason I say that is because in the midst of this beef, DG's on his stream pretty much saying, yo, I paved the way for content creators to make music. And no one will ever touch his music, you know, his level musically. Okay? Mr. DDG, who do you think you are? Now, for you to say you paved the way for content creators to make music, not really, because we've had content creators make music. You see what I'm saying? It's just the content may have been better, or the music wasn't that good, or they blew up off the music that you forgot about the content. You see what I'm saying? But we've seen this happen before. You know what I mean? Kai and I Show Speed were making music already in the beginning before he really started streaming. Now, if he's talking just YouTube, same business. We've had YouTube rappers. We've had a whole peak thing of people called YouTube rappers, where you know, hey, they're not good enough to make the mainstream, but YouTube, boy, they fire. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. For him to say that is kind of crazy, and for you to say people can't touch you level musically is kind of crazy because no, a lot of people can't. But DDG, I don't want no beef. Chip, I don't want no beef. I don't want to be another part. All right, but I'm just saying, that's just what I see. This is just what I see, people. The streaming industry world is getting oversaturated, and it's starting to become like the music industry. Everybody wants to stream, and a lot of people not gonna make it, or a lot of people's gonna look the same. A lot of people's gonna be similar, and you're not gonna know what to differentiate to. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Casanet's getting even bigger. You got random girls going on stream talking about, oh yeah, Kai ate me out. He did his thing and I got messages. I got messages. Yeah, we did this, we did that. Listen, even if y'all did, what's the point of showing the world? What's the point? You want clout? You want fame? You want people to look at you? Oh my gosh, God did that. How was it? Come on, bro. When you got clout, bro, and you got fame and you got money, oh my gosh, these leeches gonna try to leech off you so fast. Y'all gotta be careful, man. But like I said, you don't know in the streaming room no more. Was this a stunt? Was this a whole gimmick? You never know no more, man. But it's okay. I'm gonna start streaming again. Give y'all the real. Give y'all my honest take. No, we didn't like that. It's all right. It's all right. I thought that was a good way to end the segment, but guess we didn't like that. But it's okay. If you laughed, I appreciate you. If you didn't, I'll just stop. Rapper 4 extra people. Uh this brother here, listen, You would think people learn from 4th of July accidents. Well, they don't. Okay. Because, like I said, Mr. 4 Extra, all right, rapper up and coming, most people know him. Most people don't, but a rapper coming up pretty much, uh, showed off some fireworks, right? Um, and had some plans of, blowing people up. Now, they're like little firecrackers, right? Just lighting them, throwing them at people, right? We've all seen this kids do it all the time when they were growing up, or kids even now doing it, right? So he posts this video, and most people look at it, laugh, whatever, ah, ha, ha, cool. A couple hours go by, go back, social media, check some stuff out, and you notice that this brother here blown off his hand. Okay, um, wow, yeah, he blew up his hand, um, and apparently, um, yeah, his fingers are gone. All right. Now, apparently, they have a video or a picture of his fingers. I don't know if that's true or accurate enough, but yeah, he blew them up. Um, Listen, people, why, why are we dumb with fireworks? You right? And speaking of this, there was another video going around of people trying to light him in the car and throw it out the window, and the brother missed. How you don't throw it out the window? Fireworks going off in the car now. Listen, back to 4X. What's the point of doing this? People, if you have fireworks, can we please be safe? What's the point of trying to be all cool? Y'all, I got fireworks. I'm about to throw them out into the open. I'm about to throw it at the car. I'm about to light it and we're going to run with it in our hands, see who holds it the longest. What's the point of people doing this? Yeah, I got the you know what I'm saying, Roman candle. I'm going to shoot it at you. You're like, what? For what? For what? What's the point, people? That's why when people say, yo, be safe, they really mean it. Like, yo, be safe. Like, y'all gonna blow yourself up. The closest I got, I burnt myself with a firework. Boy, that pain felt excruciating. Toothpaste was my very best friend. Put it right there. Toothpaste is some ice. Boy, let me tell y'all. But 4X blew his hand off, okay? And here's the thing where people are really educated. He ends up making a GoFundMe, right? Trying to raise 28,000, I believe. And people are like, yo, ain't he a rapper? Don't he got money? What's going on? Ain't he a rapper? He got money to cover that medical expenses. What's going on? So apparently medical expenses for his procedure, prosthetics, things like that, whatever, or attaching the limbs again, whatever, is reportedly what, 50,000. Okay. People, these rappers don't get paid the way you think they get paid. All right. The only real rappers who are getting paid money like that are the ones who learned how to invest and the ones who learned how to get sponsorships and endorsements. Those people are the ones who make money. If not, J. Cole said it best. You're going to spend your whole life touring. And even then, you don't make the real money that you thought you would make from that tour. Okay? These rappers are not as rich as you think. So for him to make that made sense. Help me out. Cool. But at that same time, it also puts in perspective. These rappers are going broke nowadays, trying to live that super luxury lifestyle. Stop trying to do that. Stop trying to get mansions that are 18 bedrooms and, 36 bathrooms. Okay, you want yourself a nice house? 7 bedrooms, 6 baths. 7 bedrooms, 10 baths. That's still a lot. But why the hell you need 34? Why you need a mansion that looks like it's in the movie? Why you need a mansion that looks like a White House? Get yourself a nice, decently big house. You got the money for it. Cool. That's your forever home. You don't need to have all these places. Forever home. And you know what you do? You can buy some other houses and rent them out. You know what I'm saying? Let's be smart. Make your money. But hey, I'm being smart. I'm being smart. There are some successful independent artists out there, you know what I mean, who know how to do the game right. And they know how to save money and all that. But damn, man. After I saw that GoFundMe, I said, yeah, makes sense. If you ever had doubts, go look at that. That confirms it. But in all seriousness, I hope He does get some surgery on the hand. I hope everything is fixed when it comes to that. But please be smart with fireworks. I would say that's what you get, but I don't know the whole circumstance. I don't know if he lit it and it just blew up fast. I don't know if it accidentally went off. Like, I don't know. But for it to blow up in your hand after you post that video, though, is kind of crazy. That's karma. Karma work fast. She does. But like I said, I hope he's fine, though. I ain't gonna just wish that on people, so I hope he is good. And I hope the rest of you guys were good on 4th of July, too. Now, another thing that we should take a look at, people, is this new bill that was passed, okay? Um, like I told y'all, Donald Trump hasn't been playing no games. No games. He's all about business, all right? And this is one of those bills where he's like, yeah, this is business. This is business. Okay. So Donald Trump ended up signing and passing this bill called the One Big Beautiful Bill, okay? Or the Triple B. All right. Um, what's going on with this from what we know, just to clear it up a little quicker, summary is it extends tax cuts for the wealthy. Okay. So apparently, like I said, there's so much misinformation everywhere, but apparently the wealthy's paying less in tax, or the tax is going to be extended so they don't have to pay so much for long periods of time. All we know is that I believe the wealthy paying less, but some people say they're paying more. That's what I said. We don't know fully. I got to dive more deeper into it, but apparently it's tax cuts for the wealthy. Okay. Overhauls programs like Medicaid and SNAP, SNAAP, or SNAP. I don't know what I just spelled. um, so we know from there it's cutting funding for Medicaid and SNAP. Now people are looking at like, oh, it's done. He's cutting it completely. No, he's cutting a lot from it, but his plan is to try to get us out of debt. Is the whole plan, but our debt is too major anyway. So cutting Medicaid and all that it's a huge blow for a lot of people. Right, a lot of people survive off of that. Right, so I can see where it's like, yo, nah, a lot of people need to stop cutting that. We need as much money as we can. Okay. Then you have increasing the border and military spending, which we know he's been about the whole time. There's nothing to explain there. And there is now a multi-trillion-dollar increase to the debt ceiling. Okay. So they're increasing our debt ceiling a little bit more. So we have quotations, more money to play with, right? Before reaching debt. Um, Now, like I said, that's just what we see. Now, people are saying that the working class, right? Taxes are gonna be less. Wealthy's gonna be taxed more. That's what they're saying. Like it's things like that that confuse it. Cause now you wonder, okay, what's the real bill then? What's happening? Right? What's happening? So that's why I say if you do your own research, you start looking at stuff, you don't know what's really going on. Because apparently, you know what I mean, the poor, all right, there's gonna be no tax on overtime after hours. Okay. So if you work more than 40 hours, no tax. You know what I'm saying? No tax at all. And no tax on tips. So it's like it makes you be like, okay, is that really true? But then you look at other things where it's like healthcare, Medicaid, grants for college students, that's all gone. Like, there's a lot with this bill that we need more information on to make it seem more clear. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's interesting. Most rural areas, people are saying is going to get hit more. Urban areas are going to thrive a little bit more. People who are really working a lot more. It's it's interesting. Okay, so here's something I could break down just a little bit more for you guys, because like I said, there's so much to it. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit more. So the typical family, all right, will get up to $10,900 in additional take home pay. That's what they're saying. Workers will see increased wages up to 7,200. Households earning less than 100,000 get at least a 12% tax cut compared to today. People who make over 1 million annually will pay a greater share of the tax burden. All right. Up to 7.2 million jobs are protected and created, and 1 million new jobs annually by small businesses. No tax on tips, overtime pay, car loan interest, and tax relief for seniors will put more money annually in Americans' pockets. 1,300 per tipped worker specifically, and up to 1,400 for hourly workers. So with that being said, you could look at it like, damn, so maybe we're cool. But a lot of people are saying like, yo, we're fucked, it's over, we're done. But then you look at that and it's like, well, nah, I kind of like that. I'm getting paid money. Then you look at people, well, what about Medicaid and all that? And what's funny is people who say that don't even be on Medicaid sometimes. So it's like, that doesn't even apply to you. You know what I mean? But then for some people, it's like, nah, it really does apply to me. I use this. I need this. You know what I mean? So the whole it's a big mess. Like I said, once we get a full, concise, and like analysis of this bill, we'll be able to be more in tune and inclined on our opinions with this. But just off a few glances and understanding what it's doing, there's a lot of people in between because there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad. You know what I mean? That's with every bill. I hope people know that every bill that gets passed is always a good to a bad. There's always a good to a bad in anything in life. You know, anything. People can say this is a great thing, but I can hit you with a bunch of bad. People can say this is a bad thing. Well, I can hit you with a bunch of good. It's with everything, people. So now we got to see what this bill is going to cause. I don't believe it's going to cause no mayhem, riots, things like that, but we got to see how it affects people long term. People need to realize we got 4 years of this. If you panic now, you're not going to survive. It's just that simple. So if you don't like them, you got to endure them. That's the only thing I can say. But, and more little funny American news. TikTok is going to launch a new US only app version on September 5th. Okay. Now, this supposedly will help with the sale of TikTok. As we know, TikTok was supposed to be sold already long ago. Never did. Trump supposedly extended it, the ban on it. Said, yeah, this is not going to get banned. We're supposed to have it banned already. It's still here. It's not going nowhere. Now, a US version, will this do some damage? Here's why I say, because if you make a US version, do people still keep their content? Right? Because this version is technically China's, right? To a degree. All right? To a degree. So with this US only app, what's going to change? You know, are there going to be things that show that it's US, or is it still the same platform? You know what I mean? But just a different version. When you go to the app store, it's just going to still say TikTok and little parentheses US version. Like, what's going to really be different about it? Is it still going to be called TikTok? You know what I mean? And then when this becomes a US version, who's going to purchase it? We know there's people, Elon, Jeff Bezos, Mr. Beast. We have content creators that all chip in. Who's going to really buy this to become the CEO? You know what I mean? What are they going to do if it wants to become the CEO? You know, do we put money into the stock? Right? Because I'm thinking future. You know what I mean? So now we got to see what's going to happen with the US version of TikTok. If this is going to still be the same thing, if anything's going to change, what's going to be different. Like I said, I can't wait to see it because I got to see what they may change and what they may not change, what they may add, what they may take away. It's going to be interesting to see, to say the least. Okay. We ended up seeing Scarlett Johansson take over the industry when it comes to acting. She is now the highest grossing actor of all time at the global box office. Now, I don't know if that's just females or if that's male too, or if it's combined, both male and female. I don't know. We didn't get so much information on that so far, but what we do know is she's the highest grossing. Hey, I like Scarlett Johansson, so congrats to you. Congrats to you. Do your thing. All right. She's been in all the Marvel movies, so that should give us some clarification why she's that big already. But then you had things like Lucy, Jurassic World. I believe she was in some other good movies too. But she's got the range, she's got the discography. So, hey, congratulations, Scarlett Johansson. This just shows that women can make it too. Because I know a lot of women will say, "Oh, women don't get paid enough in Hollywood or that." Well, she broke that and said, "Watch this." Now, of course, I understand the stigma. Well, she's not black. What about our black women? Hey, y'all act like Angela Bassett ain't doing her thing. Y'all act like she ain't been cooking in these. Y'all better put respect on her name. All right. So I'm just saying, women, y'all can make it. Y'all can really thrive and be better than the men in some things. Y'all just gotta apply that. Let them know. So shout out to Scarlett Johansson, man. She ended up showing that, hey, watch how I do this. So that was interesting to see. We ended up seeing more flooding in different places. Texas just got hit with a huge flood. Rest in peace to everybody who lost their lives there. Um, we'll pray for everybody who's lost housing, cars, things like that. Um, it just goes to show, man, the earth is changing. And apparently they said the earth is moving faster by 2.364 nanomilliseconds, something crazy. Maybe that's causing a big difference like this, but like I said, when places like Texas is snowing, Florida's snowing, that makes you really be like, hold on, either we're controlled or we dying. There's no in between. These places should not be having snow. Places like New York should not be getting hit with 98-degree weather in the winter. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I said. I mean, rest in peace to everybody, like I said. But for Texas to get hit with floods like this, like places like Louisiana getting floods, like it's a little concerning to me. Now I understand people like, no, it's just Earth, you got science and all that. I'm still looking at what I be seeing. That's still weird to me. All right. Now I know a lot of people probably like, hey, I don't gotta work, so hey, you don't gotta work. If you in Texas and that happened and you alive and well and you don't gotta work tomorrow, okay, cool. We'll celebrate at the bar that's not underwater. All right. Go enjoy yourself. But for everybody else, man, hopefully the actual cleanup crews are actually doing their job as quickly and thorough as they can. I believe Trump ended up saying something else too to help with the relief for Texas. So hopefully everybody is good there though when it comes to just overall health and safety though. So I do, like I said, my condolences and prayers out to everybody there. And lastly, as you guys know, when we go and end the actual podcast, we talk about the sports section. What have we been seeing? What have we been seeing? Well, basketball just completed the largest trade in NBA history with a 17 trade. All right, this included the Kevin Durant going to Houston trade. Well, 7 teams have been added into this. Phoenix ended up receiving Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Kaim or Kaman Malanch, Rasheer Fleming, Kobe Bria, and Daquan Ploundon, and a second round pick. So Phoenix got absolutely loaded with a bunch of young talent, new talent, and some picks. Okay, so they're looking to rebuild for the future. Houston ended up getting Kevin Durant and Clint Capella. That's not too bad. Brooklyn got 2 seconds. Okay. Golden State Warriors, they got Alex Tui and Jermaine Mashak. Oh, these names, though. These names are interesting now. I believe it's a power forward and a shooting guard. ATL, the Hawks, they got a second pick swap. David Rodney and Cash. Okay. Okay. Los Angeles Lakers got a dude Theo. Okay, Theo, I should say. All right. And Minnesota got Rocco Suzuki. 2 seconds in Cash. Okay. These names. Interesting. Sorry if I butchered any of them. But this trade was interesting. 17 trade. The teams that you would think would have got somebody like a big name, like the Lakers, the Warriors, maybe Minnesota, didn't really get none. Didn't really get none. That's interesting. Houston was the only one that walked away out with something crazy. They got Kevin Durant and they got a decent pick in Clint Capella. So that's interesting. That's very interesting to say the least. But hey, biggest trade that's ever happened. Hey, they got it done. They got it done. Can't hate. Can't hate. We ended up seeing the WNBA starters and reserves for the All-Star game. Caitlin Clark, of course, a starter. Angel Reese made the reserves. We all knew that was going to happen, honestly. We knew that was coming. We just didn't know when. Now we saw it. We knew they were going to have to make them too. in the All-Star game. Of course, now are they going to play against each other? That's the part we got to see. That's the part that will be amazing. All right. That's the part that will be amazing to see. So we got to see and wait for that. But like I said, when it comes to basketball season, really nothing too crazy. Summer League started. Bronny James is still trying to prove why he can make the NBA roster, letting people know that, hey, I may not get you 10, 15. I'm going to just be a defensive menace on the court. So he's trying to prove to his self and to the fans that, hey, I can actually be on the court. It's not just because of my dad. So it's good to see that he's actually balling out, doing his thing. But we're in the off season, people. Football's coming up soon. Basketball's still in this off season, so we got to see what's gonna happen with that. Right now, we still got baseball. Colorado won. Finally, it feels like it's been L after L after L, but hey, we finally got it done. WNBA is still popping though, so if you are looking for some basketball, go over there and watch that, please. The girls be hooping. I know a lot of people don't want to watch it, but the girls do be balling, people. They ball. So, but hey, man, listen, I do appreciate each and every single one of you guys always tuning in constantly to the podcast, stopping by, giving me a listen. It's been great, always, each and every single day. Like I said, I know Monday's nobody's favorite day of the week, but after today, I hope I made it somebody's favorite day of the week. I'll be here every single Monday, each and every week. Listen, I appreciate and love you guys lots. My name is Quincy, and you've been rocking and listening to my honest take.